everybody, welcome back to the Craft Beer Hub. I've got another beer review for you, and it is of this. This is a Blue Monkey beer, and more specifically, it is the Rhubarb and Custard Pale Ale, coming in at 4.8%. That's available now on the Blue Monkey website for £5 a can. I must congratulate Blue Monkey, actually, because recently it came out on the internet from the World Beer Awards that they'd won two World Beer Award golds. One for their New Hampshire IPA, which was fantastic. Very, very good beer. And the second gold was for their Cinder Toffee Stout, a 4% stout. And yet again, very, very good. I will say that the rhubarb and custard thing would normally concern me. If this had Northern Monk on it, or Vocation on it, or Brew York on it, it would concern me. But it doesn't so much here. Because Blue Monkey are very, very good at using adjuncts putting adjuncts in a beer and making it really fun. And 9 times out of 10 with Blue Monkey, when they put an adjunct in a beer, or adjuncts in a beer, or additions in a beer, as some say, they work really well, and the flavour and style of the beer is still there. So if this is a pale ale, this will just be a really good pale ale with a bit of rhubarb and custard in it, or rhubarb and vanilla, or whatever they wanted to use. Tom, the Crummy Beer, gave this to me. Thank you very much, mate. I appreciate that. We were camping the other week, and then he handed me a can of this. I should confess, I did drink a can of this at the time, although I was getting on for being pretty much half cut. I kind of remember some bits, and I'll kind of, I'm sure that the reaction now will be just the same as what it was back then. But I can't remember the whole beer, because like I say, I was pretty sizzled. Right, let's get it into a glass and see what we get. If my nails, yes, there we go. Boom, a lovely puff and smoke on that can opener. Look at that. I've got this Duval glass because I can really get my nose in and give this a good go. Like I say, Blue Monkey, they are fast becoming one of my preferred breweries. This year I think they've had a fantastic year. I speak to them a little bit on Instagram. Ian Wesley and the team up there, lovely people brewing fantastic beer. Craft and trad, and I've just poured what looks to be a very nice pale ale. Straight away, it doesn't have like a pink hue to it or a worrying colour to it. It just looks like a nice cloudy pale ale with a one finger white head. Carbonation at the bottom of the glass. It looks alright. Let's get our nose. Okay. This is one of my worries about this beer have been confirmed with the aroma. It doesn't smell appealing. Phone's going off. It smells very artificial. It smells very sweet. It doesn't actually smell like rhubarb to me. It's kind of got a bit of a rose, petally, floral aroma to it. And worryingly, you can't really tell it's pale ale either. There's a very sort of synthetic aroma, is what I would say. Synthetic floral rose. Doesn't smell good. Doesn't smell good, if I'm honest. But you don't drink with your nose, do you? You drink with your... Oh no, I thought I spilled some. There we go. That was caught in the end. You drink with your mouth. So cheers, everybody. Let's go in. Yeah, they've done it again. Very much a pale ale to start with. Wafer malts. Slightly bready. And this brings back a memory. So I said to Tom at the time when I smelt this before, I said, I'm worried. I said, because what I really wanted out of it was sharp rhubarb and creamy custard. I didn't want the synthetic aroma which this has got. But what it does And it's very clever. It leads you up a bit of a garden path, this beer. You start thinking, oh, is this another bloody supermarket type cheap thing? Bear in mind it's £5 a can, so it needs to be good for that money. You kind of start wondering, and you're thinking, is it going to lead me up a bit of a garden path? But as soon as you taste it, the number one thing you get is a lovely malty flavour, wafery, slightly bready, and then a very nice sharp rhubarb comes in, and it does taste like a nice sharp rhubarb that you would get in a crumble. It's got a nice sharpness to it. It is sweet. It is sweet, but there is that kind of sharp rhubarb rather than just a really synthetic, overly sweet thing, which I quite like. Then the phase after that, that's when the custard comes in. It's very vanilla, very creamy. And then the back end, there's almost like a kind of slightly piney, drying bitterness. And it's almost like a semi West Coast or an American West Coast hopped pale. Maybe not so much West Coast, but certainly an American West Coast hopped pale with a bit of fun in the middle. And I'm not the biggest fan of lobbing all manner of stuff in beers. I really am not, and I'm not. But this is a good bit of fun. I think I've said it recently about one of the Brewdog beers, the Palm Beach Pina Colada, New England or whatever they produced. You know, it's just a brewery having some fun. And yes, it is £5 a can. Is that a bit too much money? A little bit. Maybe like 25 to 50 pence too much, in my opinion. But it's a good bit of fun. It really, really is a good bit of fun. And it's better fun than you'll find on the supermarket shelf. That is for sure. It's just, I love rhubarb and custard. Custard's like one of my favourite things. It's got lovely characteristics of rhubarb and custard that you remember from like eating it around your nana's after a roast dinner. But underneath it, there's quite a nice kind of West Coast inspired pale ale in there. And it's very easy drinking. Lovely body to it. With that creaminess, it's very creamy. I'd be surprised if they haven't used lactose in here, or just amped it up with oats or something. Light carbonation. And it just works really, really well. Let's have a little look at the can. Blue Monkey, award-winning craft brewery. Hops are Cascade and Magnum. Okay, so that's probably where the sort of slight pininess comes from with the Cascade. So they have to use lactose. It's water, malt, wheat, hops, yeast, lactose, rhubarb, and vanilla. Drink fresh, keep refrigerated. There's not too much text on this Blue Monkey. They don't sort of take you on this big long journey about their beers. They let the beers do the talking, and that's pretty decent. It's a good bit of fun. It kind of led me up the garden path. I was really worried, but like I say, I kind of knew where it might go, just from my experience with Blue Monkey. I've drunk a lot of their beer recently. Is £5 a can too expensive for me? Yes. It is, if I'm honest. I think it's 25 to 50 pence too much money for the quality. And it's a good bit of fun. But £5 a can, you probably are looking at a 4.8% pale, £5 a can. That's putting itself up against some pretty decent stuff from your big boys like Beak, Sure Shot, Verdant, Cloudwater, Daya. But it tastes good. It tastes good. How would I rate it? It's not fully my cup of tea. I will say that. It's not 100% my cup of tea. But I see some quality in it. I like the way the adjunct works with the pale ale. Like I say, there is still a lovely kind of West Coast inspired pale ale behind it all. I'm going to give that a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, there we go. Tom, Crummy Beard, thank you very much for watching. If you don't know the Crummy Beard, go and check his channel out. He's a lovely bloke, very, very good and articulate beer reviewer, whiskey reviewer actually. Much better than I could ever put it, that's for sure. What he gets up to, there's an example. But yeah, guys, go and have a look at Crummy Beard. Like and subscribe, guys, if you'd be so kind. Blue Monkey as well, Nottingham. Go and have a look at them. They produce some really good stuff. Yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.